Princess Azula is one of the most demanding forces in Avatar The Last Airbender and all of fiction. She always finds a way through fear and intimidation to get you to do exactly what she wants you to. And right now, she wants you to subscribe to Brizzly for Avatar content weekly. And honestly, you really don't have a choice in this manner. You can subscribe, or you can meet your doom to the Fire Nation Princess. So upon my rewatch of Avatar The Last Airbender, I really took a notice to how the series changed once Azula's character was introduced. Now, you can ask many members of the Avatar The Last Airbender fanbase who their favorite villain was, and I guarantee you 8 out of 10 people will say Azula. And I think we'd all like to know, why is that? Why do we love to hate her so much? Well, I've really been thinking about her character, and I'm able to separate her characters into 3 portions of her character: the prodigy, the manipulator, and the tragedy. And because there are so many different parts of this character, I have to split her video into 3 different parts. So in this video, we'll be talking about Azula, the prodigy. Azula was given the title of being the child that was born lucky by her father. She strived for nothing less than perfection, and perfection came easy to her. And as we saw in her introduction scene, close just was not good enough for her. But with always longing for perfection, the question becomes, does she give up an ounce of her humanity? And the short answer is yes, 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 and yes, 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 yes. The longer answer is yes, 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 yes. You see, with how the mastery of bending came easy to Azula, almost like a second nature, compassion didn't come so easily to her. A prime example of this is in the Zuko Alone episode. When Azula was asked to demonstrate what she learned, she was able to execute it perfectly. And for that, the reward for her was the respect that she got from her father. Her father always praised her for being perfect. And throughout this series, you'll see that her father had a larger impact on her than even the creators cared to show. You see, Azula's crave for perfection, her crave for power, and her crave for praise, they all stem from her father. But we'll get more into his effects on her in the 3rd installment of this series. So Azula is a prodigy in all aspects of fighting. So much so that we could probably give her the title of Prodigy of Prodigies in this series. I mean, when Azula would go up against people like Aang and Katara, she made them look like beginners. Azula evades well, she attacks well, her attacks are precise, her attacks throw you off guard, and the power behind this, with her nearly perfect fighting skills, it throws people off of their game. For example, when Aang was fighting her in the drill episode, Aang used more of an offensive approach with her. Even though, as we know from watching the series, Aang is definitely more of an evasive fighter. He's more so, that's where he's comfortable, when he's defending himself. You've seen how he fights against countless amounts of firebenders, how he evades and he redirects your attacks towards you like a waterbender, and how he makes you somewhat beat yourself. But with fighting Azula, he actually took more of an offensive approach where he used the earth element a lot more, and we all know that that is Aang's worst element. The same thing with someone like Iroh. Iroh was never usually the first person to strike, but in every instance where he had to fight or flee against Azula, he tended to be the first person to make the move. And why is that, you may ask? Because Azula's raw, unpredictable, and strong nature and her power intimidates people. Her strength, her ability to be a great fighter, intimidates even master benders like Iroh and Aang, and it causes them to abandon their way of thinking. She uses her own strengths to play on people's insecurities, and another prime example of this is when she was younger. When she saw Mai blush because she saw Zuko, she immediately runs over to Zuko and her mother and manipulates her mother into making her make Zuko come and play with her. And then she tells Ty Lee, hey, look, this is gonna be really funny. She puts an apple onto Mei's head, burns it, and causes Zuko to jump after her to try to save her, and ends up embarrassing the both of them by having them both fall into a puddle together. In that very moment, she played on both Mei's untapped feelings for Zuko and Zuko's compassion for others. A prime example of Azula's raw ability in just fighting is her introduction episode. When she fought Zuko and Iroh on that boat, it wasn't really much of a fight for her. It was literally, she kind of just danced and tweedled her way out of every single fire, blast, or hit Zuko sent her way. And throughout that lack of a fight for Zuko's end of the fight, she also played up on his emotions, on his anger. She knew he was angry, so he was just shooting fire everywhere, but she evaded. She completely was on the defensive during that fight. And in turn, throughout that entire fight, she kind of humiliated Zuko. She basically showed Zuko the entire fight that she was better than him. But the thing is that Zuko already knew that. But it goes even further than that. In Azula's next big battle in the series, when she fought Aang and Omashu, she really showcased her tactical ability, her ability to analyze every single aspect of a situation, of a fight, in seconds. Once she realized that Aang was the Avatar and Aang flew away, she immediately found the highest ground that she could. She ran to the building that was conveniently placed, jumped onto like an elevator strap thing, made it to the top, and then was able to easily see the greater picture. She looked and watched Aang jump onto the Omashu mail chute, and she quickly found her way onto another one. And while they were going down that entire thing, Aang would be shooting wind blast after wind blast until Aang shot a full wind blast at her that he thought got her out of there, but soon to realize that she was just hiding underneath the like crevice rock thing. She like just went under it. I can't really explain it. You have to look at the video. But it just goes to show you that she is such a prodigy that she can, within seconds, analyze the situation and find something in the environment that is going to help her win this battle. You see, Azula's raw power and talent comes from a place of wanting to be a perfectionist, but also having perfection come easy to her. Azula is so OP when it comes to fights that, honestly, I would like to say that if Azula was in her right headspace, she would be able to beat anyone in, no matter Sozin's comment or what. She would be able to beat anyone in Avatar. Aang, Ozai, you name it. Azula is a prodigy bender, but she's not only a prodigy bender when it comes to the physical aspects of bending, she's also good at bending the mind. She is a master manipulator, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the next installation of this series, Azula the Manipulator. So be sure, bend your finger and hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this, uploaded straight into your YouTube sub pages or whatever it's called.